Welcome back. This is episode number 65. Now we go to section 97. 97. Appeal from final decree when no appeal from preliminary decree. Where any party aggrieved by a preliminary decree passed after the commencement of this court does not appeal from such decree, he shall be precluded from disputing its correctness in any appeal which may be preferred from the final decree. We have seen under the definition of decree under Order 2, Rule 2. It can be either preliminary or final, it is said. Both are decrees. Preliminary decree is a decree, final decree is also a decree. An appeal lies against a preliminary decree, an appeal lies against a final decree also. What is being provided under 97 is that a party aggrieved by a preliminary decree does not appeal from such decree. He shall be precluded from disputing its correctness in any appeal which may be preferred from the final decree. See, I will give an example. There is a suit for partition. There are plaintiffs as well as defendants. Plaintiffs claim share in the properties. Defendants say, no, the property is not partible. The property was dealt with by the predecessor in trust, by a will, and therefore the defendants got right in the property. The plaintiffs have no right. The court decides one way or other. The court decides, let us take it. The court decides that the will is genuine. What will happen? In respect of those items covered by the will, the suit will be dismissed. If there are other items and it is found that it is partible, a preliminary decree will be passed in respect of that. Both parties can be aggrieved by the decision of the trial court. Insofar as the will is concerned, in respect of those items, the suit is dismissed after finding that the will is genuine. And in respect of the other items on which some other disputes are there and it is decided against the defendants, a preliminary decree will be passed in favor of the plaintiffs. So it is a decree passed by the court over which there is a grievance for both parties, possible grievance. Either party can file an appeal. Either plaintiff can file an appeal against a preliminary decree challenging the correctness of the finding regarding will. The other parties, the defendants, can file an appeal against a preliminary decree in respect of the other items. No harm. No appeal is filed against the preliminary decree. Thereafter, a final decree is passed. And either the plaintiffs or the defendants, they challenge the final decree, in which they dispute the correctness of the preliminary decree, which is not possible. And when final decree is challenged, we cannot go back to the correctness or otherwise of the preliminary decree. That is final. That is conclusive in the sense that once that preliminary decree has become final by not filing an appeal, the appellate court in an appeal against the final decree cannot touch those findings. That is not open to challenge. So we have to proceed from the stage of the final preliminary decree in the appeal from final decree. Either regarding shares or acceptability of this or that, nobody can question it. Otherwise, an appeal should have been filed against the preliminary decree. Having not done so, an appeal against the final decree, nobody can question the correctness or otherwise of the preliminary decree. That is what is provided in section 97. Now I will give, another angle, not 97 as such. Suppose the preliminary decree is passed and an appeal was filed by the aggrieved party. A preliminary decree for partition was passed, let us take it. Defendant is aggrieved by that, defendant files an appeal. That appeal is pending. No stay was granted or some conditional order was passed, condition not complied with, practically there is no stay. So there is nothing wrong for the trial court to pass a final decree. The trial court passed a final decree. Then would the appeal against the preliminary decree become infructuous? Or is it necessary for the defendant who challenged the preliminary decree to challenge the final decree in order to get the result of the preliminary decree washed off? Suppose no appeal itself is filed against the final decree. The appeal filed by the defendant against the preliminary decree is pending. There the respondent in that appeal says, no, the appeal is not maintainable because final decree is passed in the meanwhile. Therefore everything has gone. Preliminary decree challenge cannot be considered there. Is that correct? That appeal will not go. An appeal was filed challenging a preliminary decree. That will not vanish by the passing of a final decree during the pendency of that appeal. That appeal, anybody is aggrieved, he can challenge it. That is a separate one. And suppose in that case, suppose in a partition suit is decreed and a preliminary decree is passed. Plaintiff is given 1/5 shares. Defendants are aggrieved by it. They challenge the preliminary decree in appeal. Meanwhile, a final decree is passed. And the plaintiff is allotted the share to which he is entitled to. Allotted as per the plan and report. Meanwhile, the appeal is taken up. Appeal is allowed. The preliminary decree is set aside. Then what will happen to the final decree? Is it necessary to set aside the final decree? Is it necessary to file an appeal challenging the final decree? Or is it necessary to file an application to close this final decree, to set aside this final decree on the subsequent events? I would like to cite two decisions. It is not necessary to challenge the final decree. If a person is not aggrieved by the final decree to get the preliminary decree on, he need not go. The appeal against the preliminary decree in the example which I cited will remain as such, will not become infructuous, and it can be decided on. And if in an appeal the preliminary decree is reversed, the final decree must fall to the ground. For means because there is no preliminary decree in support of it. So what is the example which we have given? Plaintiff suit for partition was decreed, a preliminary decree was passed, defendant challenged it. Meanwhile, a preliminary decree, final decree was passed by the trial court, and thereafter the defendant's appeal is taken up. Defendant's appeal was allowed. Then what will happen to the final decree passed? Final decree automatically falls to the ground. AER 1967 Supreme Court. AER 1967 Supreme Court 1236. Sheetal Parshad, SITAL Parshad, PARSHAD, and another versus Kishori Lal. I will read in the words of the Supreme Court itself, a very short paragraph. There can, in our opinion, be no doubt that if in appeal the preliminary decree is reversed, the final decree must fall to the ground, for there is no preliminary decree thereafter in support of it. It is not necessary in such a case for the defendant to go to the court passing the final decree and ask it to set aside the final decree. Even if the defendant does not make an application to the court for setting aside the final decree within 3 years, because the preliminary decree has been reversed, the decree holder cannot get the right to execute the final decree which has no preliminary decree in support of it. So, in the instance which I have given, a preliminary decree was passed by the trial court, and that was allotted in the final decree. Meanwhile, the appeal filed by the defendant was allowed and the preliminary decree was set aside. Simply because a final decree is passed and simply because nobody filed any application before the trial court to set aside the final decree, that the plaintiff is not entitled to execute that final decree, because what is the substratum of the final decree? What is the foundation of the final decree? It is the preliminary decree that has been set aside in appeal. Therefore, final decree automatically falls to the ground as said by the Supreme Court, and therefore it cannot be executed. Another angle. Now a preliminary decree was passed, granting a share to the plaintiff. Preliminary decree was passed. Defendant is aggrieved. But he did not file an appeal for the time being. And immediately thereafter a final decree was also passed. He got the copy of the judgment and decree leisurely, and after passing the final decree, he files an appeal against the preliminary decree. Is that appeal maintainable? When the appeal came up, said that the respondent said, no, this appeal is not maintainable, because by the time the appeal was filed, the final decree was passed. So how can he challenge the preliminary decree? Was the question. What is the answer? The answer is the appeal is maintainable. Even after passing the final decree, preliminary decree can be challenged. Only thing is that the appeal has to be filed within time. And if it is not filed within time, an application for condonation of delay can be filed. And if the court finds that there are reasons for condoning the delay, it can be condoned. Please note a decision. 2012 KHC. The volume is, I think it is 4 or 3. Please check up. 2012 4 KLT. And in the KHC, it is page number is 2961. Name of the case I will give. Meenakshi Amma versus Raghavan Nair. Meenakshi Amma versus Raghavan Nair. Even after the final decree is passed, preliminary decree can be challenged in appeal. Now another instance I may give. These are all the small things, not directly under 97, but certain similar things may occur on the practical side of it. Now take a case. A preliminary decree was passed ex parte. Defendants did not appear. Preliminary decree for partition was passed ex parte. An application was filed to set aside the ex parte preliminary decree. During the pendency of that application, final decree was passed. What will happen to the application for setting aside the preliminary decree? Usually no such pending that application, final decree will not be passed. That is one thing. But it so happened. What will happen to the application to set aside the preliminary decree? Would it be dismissed as infructuous? Or take a case where the application to set aside the preliminary decree, ex parte preliminary decree, was dismissed. An appeal was filed, civil miscellaneous appeal was filed against that. Now it is, I think, FAO, first appeal against order or something like that. Anyhow, miscellaneous appeal was filed against the order dismissing the application to set aside the ex parte decree. That miscellaneous appeal is pending. Pending that final decree was passed. When the miscellaneous appeal was taken up, the respondent says, no, the appeal has become infructuous because in the meantime final decree is passed. Therefore, the ex parte preliminary decree cannot be set aside by allowing the appeal. Would it stand? Or can an ex parte preliminary decree be set aside even after passing the final decree? That is a question which I pose. That was decided in Rajan versus Shashindran. Rajan versus Shashindran. 2012, 3 KLT 590. Please read 67 Supreme Court 1236 and Rajan versus Shashindran and also Meenakshi Amma versus Raghav Kaimal. That will solve the problem. Now we go to 98 is not necessary, where the appeal is heard by a bench of 2 or more judges. That does not happen in the subordinate court. It applies only to the High Court. 99. This is important. This is to be borne in mind by the lawyers while arguing the appeal. No decree to be reversed or modified for error or irregularity not affecting the merits or jurisdiction. No decree shall be reversed or substantially varied, nor shall any case be remanded in appeal on account of misjoinder or non-joinder of parties, or causes of action, or any error, defect or irregularity in any proceedings in the suit, not affecting the merits of the case or the jurisdiction of the court, provided that nothing in this section shall apply to non-joinder of necessary party. What is the meaning of it? A party files an appeal. He picks holes in the judgment, or he says that the trial court committed this error, that error, there is irregularity, this application ought to have been allowed, that is, the court did not proceed in the correct way, the court did not grant enough opportunity to me, to this, that and all those things. Some irregularities, admittedly irregularities. Would it be sufficient to set aside the decree of the trial court on that ground? No. No decree shall be reversed or substantially varied. On what ground? Nor shall a case remanded. Remand occurs under Order 21, Order 41, Rule 23, 23A, 25, etc. We will come to that. I will also cite a constitution bench decision of the Supreme Court and other Supreme Court judgments, how a remand should be made, how a remand should not be made, how a remand should not be made on the mere asking of it. It is a very serious thing. And there are some judges who, on the mere asking of it, on some ground it will be remanded. That depends on judges to judges. But Supreme Court has cautioned, no remand except when it is absolutely necessary. I will come to that while dealing with Order 41, Rule 23 and the other rules. So, it shall not be reversed, substantially varied, or a remand to be made. On account of what? On account of misjoinder or non-joinder of parties or causes of action. Misjoinder or non-joinder of parties, causes of action, all those things. or irregularities or any error, defect or irregularity in any proceeding, not affecting the merits of the case. The error, defect or irregularity is admittedly there or it is shown to be there, but it does not affect the merits of the case. Irregularity for irregularity's sake is not a ground to remand a case or to set aside a decree or vary a decree, judgment. That is not possible in view of on the face of 99, section 99. But proviso says that if it is non-joinder of necessary party, this will not apply. That means if there is a non-joinder of a necessary party, the decree can be set aside on that ground. This is rule 99. 100, it is not 99A. Without prejudice to the generality of the provisions of section 99, no order under section 47 shall be reversed or substantially varied on account of any error, defect or irregularity in any proceeding relating to such order, unless such error, defect or irregularity has prejudicially affected the decision in the case. This comes under the heading appeals. After amendment of CPC in 1976, no appeal lies against an order under section 47, unless of course it is specially made appealable under certain rules. Anyhow, let it be there in the appeals. See, this applies to section 47 as well. Same principle as in 99. Then appeals from appellate decrees. 100, second appeal, we are not dealing with it because it is for High Court. We are subordinate courts are not concerned with it. It is necessary, but in this episode I am not doing it because in this program also I am not doing it. Section 100, as in say there are thousands and thousands of decisions, some Supreme Court judgments on the mere ground that a question of law was not framed by the High Court. Thousands of appeals were disposed of. 100A, no further appeal. Now, those rules are not 100A. That is also High Court. Letters patent means High Court. 102, no second appeal. No second appeal shall lie from any decree when the subject matter of the original suit to recovery of money, that is small cause, 25,000 rupees. Yes, I will mention. No second appeal shall lie from any decree when the subject matter of the original suit is for recovery of money not exceeding 25,000 rupees. There you may note, there was an amendment in 99 where it was provided that where the valuation of the suit is below 25,000, no appeal, no second appeal. Now there was objection. There may be suits involving properties worth crores, but sometimes the valuation may be less than 25,000. Depends on so many factors under the respective court fees and suit valuation act of the states. It may happen that the stake involved is worth crores, but the valuation for the suit is less. That was the 99 amendment. Valuation below 25,000, no second appeal. And it was objected to. And therefore in 2002 it was amended. Now it is suit for money, 25,000. No second appeal when the suit for, suppose the suit for money decreed 25,000, 24,000 we will take it. Defendant files an appeal, he lost, he cannot file a second appeal. Of course he can file a revision, that is a different thing. Now we go to order 41. Oh no, I am sorry, 104, 105 and 106. 104, 105 and 106. orders from which appeal lies. We have seen appeal from decree, it is 96. It is 96. Appeal from orders 104. So we have to remember appeal from decree section 96 and order 41. Appeal from orders section 104 and order 43. 104 says what? An appeal shall lie from the following orders and save as otherwise expressly provided in the body of this code or by any law for the time being in force from no other orders. On the other hand, 96 says that every decree is appealable. Of course, compromise decree cannot be, consent decree cannot be appealed against. Except that appeal lies from every decree. But from an order, only those specified which are in section 104 and order 43, an appeal lies. An appeal shall lie from the following orders and save as otherwise expressly provided from no other order. Which are the orders? An order under 35A, compensatory cause. An order under section 91-92, refusing to have to institute a suit of the nature in 91, public nuisance, or 92, that is say public trust, as the case may be. An order under section 95, compensation. An order under any provisions of this code imposing a fine or directing the arrest or detention in the civil prison of any person, except where such arrest or detention is in execution of a decree. There are provisions in the code where a fine can be imposed or a direction to arrest and detain can be in civil prison can be had, not in execution of any decree or order. There are so many instances. You search through the CPC, say violation of the order or all those things, it may happen. An order under any of the provisions of the code imposing a fine or directing arrest or detention in civil prison. Any order made under rules from which an appeal lies, appeal is expressly allowed by the rules. Any order made under rules from which appeal is expressly provided by rules. Which is that rule? Order 43. Provided that no appeal shall lie against any order specified in clause F. What is FF? 35A. Save on the ground that no order or an order for payment of less amount ought to have been made. 2. No appeal shall lie from any order passed in an appeal under this section. See, that is the difference. Section 96, an appeal is provided. Appellate decree, second appeal is provided. But that is from decree. 96 provides for an appeal from decree. Section 100 provides for a second appeal from the decree, but only on a substantial question of law. But what about order? An order which is not a decree but an order, which is appealable only those cases which are specified in section 104 or in order 43. Suppose the appellate court, that is miscellaneous appeals. That appeal is decided. Whether there is a further appeal against that? No. It is specifically provided. No appeal shall lie from any order passed in appeal under this section. We will go to the other section 105 etc. and the other provisions in the next episode. Thank you.